Alright. Stay. Okay.
Your turn.
Yep. Ah! Dang it! Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you record live. Stay. Dan, I hate your chair. A whole lot right now. See if that'll work.
Every time you touch it, it bounces.
And it's gonna be off tilter, but that'll work. Okay. Okay, everybody, if you were joining us, that kind of looks okay. Nah, fine. It'll be okay for now until we get a stable stand. Everybody, welcome to my new show. I'm calling it Talk Time with the Fox. If you don't know, this is my cousin. His name cannot be given out for personal reasons. Say hi to everybody, Fox.
Hi to everybody.
Okay, big topic of everybody's mind. Been happening since, like, what, last year, year before that. What is better? Battlefield, Call of Duty. And in this video, this man has mentored me through a lot of things, mostly video games. He introduced me to Call of Duty, introduced me to Battlefield just recently. And he's the guy I consider to be the level of standard to, okay? My thing every time, if I play him, to do good or better than him. If I'm facing against him, I'm going to try to beat him. I fail, but I try to do it anyways. He's going to be taking the side of Battlefield. I'll be taking the side of Call of Duty. Since I've stuck with Call of Duty a little bit more, it wasn't until like what, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3, you were just like, I'm done. This is it. I'm done with the trash heap.
Yeah, I quit playing after Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yep. I mean, didn't you dabble a little bit in Black Ops?
A little bit, not a whole lot. No.
Yeah. Okay, one thing we're going to be talking about, and very big, DLC content. Everybody knows something comes out, they give new maps that are just outrageous, they have certain things to them. With Call of Duty, it's been just maps. That's all it's been. And I like that. But the thing is, some of the map designs are so screwed up, and the main point of that are the spawn points. Because with a new map, they just it seems like they just throw it together. I mean, I like them, and I like it a lot. I like the variety of maps, but that is the kind I hate about it. That's the one thing I do. But other than that, I love the DLC for it. And with Black Ops 2, we finally, woo, got our first gun DLC. I mean, it was really cool, the Peacekeeper, if you play it. It's awesome. I like using it when I pick it up off the ground. I'm broke. I couldn't get the DLC for it. But I like it. The maps, they variety in a lot of different shapes. Not shapes, but sizes, gun specific maps, stuff like that. But that's why I like it. Then Battlefield.
For those of you who play Battlefield 3, you will know that there are several download packages that come out. I believe there's a total of 4. And with each of them, there are new maps and also new modes in which to play. There's one called Scavenger, which is basically, from what I hear, Call of Duty's version of the gun game. More recently, they released In-Game, which has Capture the Flag, and that was a new one. I've been playing that one recently. But with Battlefield and 2 out of the new map or out of the new DLCs, they released new weapons for every class. New sniper rifles, assault rifles, submachine guns, stuff like that. But bad habit.
Note to self: please do not use tobacco products. We do not endorse them. We are not getting paid for this. Continue.
But yeah, new modes, new maps, new weapons, new skins, new vehicles, which is another perk that I like about Battlefield more than Call of Duty. Basically, every vehicle that you could see in a war game theater, you will have. We have choppers, jets, tanks, dirt bikes, quads, Humvees, just about everything, troop transports, and you get new ones with every new DLC. Now, mind you, to get the new DLC, you have to become a premium member of Battlefield, and that's another game. It costs the equivalent about $50, but
online it's like 4,000 Microsoft points.
It's quite a bit, but mind you, even though it is basically like buying a new game, you're putting a game within a game. It's gameception, and that's why I've been an avid Battlefield player. But as far as the DLC goes, that's all I really have to say about that. they reinvent the game with new package that comes out. So.
It looks like this debate ain't going very well, but okay. Okay, next topic, and this to me is kind of a biggie for me, skill level. If you're playing Black Ops 2 or playing it right now, you know or have known by now. And if you don't know, listen up! They implemented a new thing with Black Ops 2 to where the games are going to be chosen not by connection anymore, or by the people you're at, or where you're at, but by skill level. What they do, they take your KD, your score per minute, well, not your KD, but they take all that into consideration, and they put you against people who are the same skill level as you. And this has been, some people thought this was really stupid, but in their mind I can see what they're going with. Because say there's a 12-year-old kid right here, never played Call of Duty ever. I want him to play so he can have fun. But if he's playing against me, a seasoned veteran, or somebody like him, a seasoned veteran of any first-person shooter, for lack of a better word, he's going to get dominated. I mean, he's going to pretty much just, every time it pops out, it's like, I'm playing, and out. And they don't like that because that discourages kids. It's what creates what I call the little squeakers who want to scream on there. Dan doesn't hear those because he mutes everybody, which is smart, by the way. And it doesn't want them to play, and then that means they're not going to buy the next game. They're not going to buy the DLC. They're losing. The company essentially is going to be losing out on money. They don't want that. They say they want everybody to have a good time, but essentially they're just wanting kids to tell their mommies and daddies to buy more of it so they can spend more money and all that. I like it because it does help, because there are some days where I don't want to go up against guys who have been playing way longer than me, who have played way better than me. But then again, I don't like it because I don't like going up in an entire crowd of kids that don't play, and I get a very high KD. I like that, but I don't get that excitement of it. I don't like leading by double their points. I like close games. I like single point close games. Those are fun. It really shows who has skill. And I say they need to leave it into the league play that they got, but that's just me. But like I said, it's kind of a flip the coin. You like it, you don't. I like it sometimes, hate it sometimes. Essentially, I understand what they're going with. It is a new way to invent it and bring it out of the old staleness that has Call of Duty's been forever, since Modern Warfare 3, which you can agree, I can agree, anybody can agree, that was a steaming pile of crap. It was probably the worst money I've spent, and I can say that honestly. Okay. Moving forward, talk about the many things of what I call bad habits of every person that plays Call of Duty does. And that's from camping, using bouncing betties, using claymores, waiting in a corner with a rocket launcher. Those simple bad things. And one of them that I really, really, really hate, and I'm starting to hate more, is they got this thing called the target finder. What it is, it's a site, but whenever somebody shows up after 25 meters, they say, a red diamond pops up. And it makes it easier to spot, and they can use it better. And I can understand behind it. I use it here and there. But the people I hate, won't hate, but the one thing I hate about it, the bad habits, are people who use it with LMGs or SMGs. For one, SMG, that is a long sight, and they're using it on an SMG. It's stupid, and I hate it when I get killed by it. It's just ridiculous. I hate that more than I hate the dang bouncing betties, because for some reason I just can't crouch to freaking get out of the way. And he started that a while back with World at War. Anytime I try to flank him, guess what? And that's the one thing I hate. And I do it too, I can't say that. And that's the one thing I hate about it more, is I hate those bad habits, and everybody has them. And it's just one of those things. We have them, but I don't, for some reason, this is one thing I can say, I have not seen that many bad habits in Black Ops 2 as I have seen in Battlefield, believe it or not. I just started playing Battlefield 3 recently, and I have not seen so many bad habits in that one as in this one, believe it or not. Because one big bad habit I hated, that I don't hate but I see a lot, is on Norris Canal, you'll always see somebody trying to get up on that crane and trying to snipe people. And it's not even the people that can really snipe, it's the people that get you picked off whenever you get hit by a stray bullet. They didn't even earn that kill because you're already like 75 health.
See, that's why I like Battlefield. With the skill level, there are no filters. You're thrown into, if you should choose a random server, you're thrown into the one you got the best signal with. And there is no segregation due to skill levels. You could be on a map where you're fighting, 3 or 4 guys who are level 100 colonels, and then they'll have 3 or 4 guys who are, level 20s or level 4s, just. But
no, I'm actually level 16. I just leveled up today, so kudos for me.
But with Battlefield, another reason I like it so much is you never play the same game twice. You can play the same map, but tendencies are going to be different. It's just like a real Battlefield. You can go to the same place twice and get flanked from 2 different sides, just because it's ever-changing Battlefield. And as far as bad habits go, those who practice bad habits get killed quickly, because they'll learn one way or another. Another thing I like about Battlefield is the environment is completely destructible, and if you're hiding behind a wall, a person who already knows you're there can already blow up that wall, and you can die just as easily that way. But bad habits are easily overcome in Battlefield.
Do you have any bad habits that you could do? I mean, let's be honest. Do you have any that you do that you wish you didn't do that would kind of, make your game just a little bit better? What do you think?
Well, I used to have a bad habit about, not really. Well, I guess I could say I overuse a bipod a lot, and especially on light machine guns, you can entrench yourself in an area, set up your bipod, and then not check your angles, and you'll be setting your bipod and you get flanked from one side, but because you can't move your bipod over. But that's easily overcome. Keep an eye on your map. Your teammates might put out a target. Just keep an eye on your map, and usually if you do that, you won't get flanked as much.
And that brings up another thing. This was the one I forgot about earlier. The mini-maps. The mini-maps for Call of Duty have always been the same, and anytime I see somebody that is like the enemy team, they have a loud weapon, I see them. I can easily tell where they're at. But with Battlefield, I don't know what it is, but that mini-map that they have, I constantly have myself looking straight at that and not seeing at the peripheral. Mm-hmm. I have to constantly look at that, and that's been my biggest trouble with it. Mm-hmm. And that's right now my biggest grief with Battlefield is I hate that. Because somebody can have like an SMG and be pretty far away, and I see them go, but I don't know where they're going. They fire somewhere else, like, okay, I can go this way. But I don't get there in time, or then they move across here, or I start firing, and I don't see that little red arrow that they have, and it's really hard to see. And another thing is the hit detection. It seems like in both Battlefield and Call of Duty, they have the hit markers. Mm-hmm. But it seems like in Call of Duty, the hit markers are a little bit more specific. They're a little bit more intermediate. But I will side with this on Battlefield because Battlefield is one of the most real-to-life games I've ever played. Because they make you compensate for recoil, for if it's windy or whatever, distance. Bullet drop. I mean, that is the one thing that I've had to get used to, and I'm not exactly liking, but it is something that can be overcome. Mm-hmm. And that's the point there that I will kind of side over for. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're going to dip back into the past, and he knows a little bit more about this than I do, because, let's face it, he's older, look at the beard. Gaming evolution, what it started off as, and what it is now. For Call of Duty, I believe it was back to Big Red 1, Call of Duty Big Red 1.
It's one of those, yeah.
Yeah, and then went to Call of Duty 2, 3, mm-hmm. Call of Duty 4. And one thing I've noticed, well, War at War, I forgot about that one in there. For the first 3 games, Call of Duty 1, 2, and 3, I liked them. I played them a little bit, and I actually got the when you got the Big Red 1, you got that Big Red 1 patch that they sent it with, and I had that for a long time. I think it's still in storage. And I liked those games. I liked them because those were like some of my first ones. I didn't really get into them per se as much as I thought I would, but I liked them. And then War at War came out, and they came out with the being able to play online. And I wasn't too sure about that because I only had my skill set to people I knew around. And a big thing back then, I didn't like losing. I did not like losing. But I seen as these games got along, they started to get progressively better. The graphics were getting better like most games, and the mechanics of it have been getting better. But one thing that I could say do not like about Call of Duty, even though I'm siding with it, I love Call of Duty, but the one thing is the engine that they have. It's been the same engine for like the last 10 years. Activision and Infinity Ward both. It has been the same thing. It has not changed. Well, it's changed by tweaking here, tweaking there. And because of that, that's the reason why Modern Warfare 3 was just a pile of crap. It was nothing different from Modern Warfare 2. You play Black Ops and Black Ops 2, there is a big difference for them. That's the thing. And Treyarch has really stepped up their game for it, and that's why I really, really like Black Ops 2. I'm still playing it. I still like it. And it's going to be one of those games that I'm going to keep playing, because they've done something really, really good here. Something that Infinity Ward and Activision needs to get on the ball about and really get it going. Now let's go over to Battlefield. I didn't play the first one.
I played it.
What can you say about the first two? Let's just go there.
Well, the first two, there was a couple of differences between them. The first one was only for PC, as I recall. The second one I played on the first Xbox, and they still had a lot of the same mechanics and the same engine, and they were all right. I played Battlefield 2 Modern Combat more than I did the first one, and they still had the classes, which I enjoyed. But when Bad Company came out, it kind of redefined Battlefield with the destructible environments, and even then they were still incorporating real world physics as far as bullet mechanics and everything like that goes. And then they came out with Bad Company 2, which is basically more the same. There's a few differences. With Battlefield Bad Company, they started getting more into the vehicles and stuff like that.
First time I drove a tank was in Battlefield Bad Company. It was awesome. I destroyed everything.
Yeah, and then they came out with Battlefield 3, and they had a new engine, Frostbite 2, which completely amped up the Battlefield nature. A whole shooting through different kind of materials, walls, wood, steel, anything like that. And then with Battlefield 3, it just really redefined gaming. I would not suggest Battlefield to anybody who's new to first-person shooters, because starting off is going to be really tough, especially for what's that say, man? Just say noobs. Well, with noobs and especially crossovers who are coming off of Call of Duty into Battlefield.
I can attest to it.
It's really hard for them, because anybody can take a 12, 13-year-old kid, put them into first-person shooters such as Call of Duty, and they'll just spray and pray. And for some reason, that seems to work in Call of Duty. With Battlefield, it's a whole different beast. I find myself with a lot of my assault classes switching my primary weapon, my rifle, over to single shot, because I can do a control pair, control 3 pair or something like that, and really aim my shots. Which, as with Call of Duty, you just pull the trigger till they're dead, pretty much, and it's not what I'm about. So
yeah, and that's one thing I can say about Call of Duty. If you are starting off first and new and completely new, you want to play Call of Duty first, because it is easier. And I give it that, and that's maybe one reason why I like playing it a little bit, because there are days when, if I want to play a shooter, I don't want to have to worry about, just the simple things. I just want to point and spray. And that's fine and dandy, but to truly base your skill on something like that, you need something else. If you're just an easygoing gamer, you just want to, have a little fun, play Call of Duty. I like it, love it, have them all. I wish I didn't buy one of them. But as far as that goes, and it's just really what you want. Do you want a challenge? You play Battlefield. That's what I'm saying. All right. This is the big news, because what is it, like 2 days ago, the trailer, 17-minute trailer for Battlefield 4 came out. I've been watching videos on YouTube for I don't know how long. Pwnstar for Hire, he's been posting them and dissecting them. And also, a little tidbit of information been leaked out about the new Call of Duty, called Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, before anybody starts going nuts, that does not mean a return of the Ghost character. He is dead. He has been killed. He was set on fire by Shepard, if you do not remember from Modern Warfare 2. Okay? And if you don't know that, spoiler alert! But and there's not much detail left about it. There hasn't been a trailer yet. Well, there's supposedly a release date of a trailer coming in May. And big thing about these is they're supposed to be on the new gen consoles that are coming out. And have you seen the trailer for Battlefield 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to get your opinion on it first before I give mine on this one. Actually, go ahead.
Well, it looks like they vastly improved on the graphics. Don't get me wrong, the graphics for Battlefield 3 were fantastic as compared to other ones, as far as the campaign goes and everything. But with this one, it really looks like you're inside of a movie, the way they got it all played out. They kind of switched around spotting, which is all right in my book. Instead of just hitting the back button when your reticle is on a enemy, you actually have to take it off your hand and you point to them or whatever, which is I gotta be careful. Which is what they do in the military. Whenever you see an enemy, you don't want to alert them to your presence, so you just kind of get your commander's attention and just kind of point them out to them. Mm-hmm. It looks pretty tense. I'm hoping that they don't just make it proprietary to the next gen console. Just bought a brand new Xbox with a 320 gig hard drive, and I really don't want to have to buy anything new, which I won't. But I'm just saying, I'm hoping that they'll do what they did whenever the new 360 came out, and they were releasing games for both systems. But
and we'll talk about that after this because I have a whole spiel about that actually. And okay, now my thing. One thing I've noticed is the guy was able to carry that shotgun. It looks like a mini Remington 870. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that they're able to do that with the multiplayer. Mm-hmm. The reason why is because don't get me wrong, in the normal military scene, as you would see, they only have their primary weapon, which is an assault rifle, LMG, SMG, sniper rifle, and then they have this secondary, which is a pistol. My only thing is the pistols for Battlefield, they're kind of a little bit more difficult to use. I mean, if you pull them out, different ones have the different effects. If you have a G18, because it's automatic fire, you're going to mow down most people in close range unless they have a shotgun. But I think the handy ability to have a shotgun, to me, in close range, in case, if you're going in from far and you see that there's like 3 or 4 of them in there. Well, if you're going in with an assault rifle, you're mostly going to have to aim for the hip, or then you're not going to be able, because if you're aimed down sight, you're moving slower. You can't move from one target to the next. You have a shotgun, I think it's bam, bam, bam. You can easily take out 2 more targets. Mm-hmm. And I hope they do that. One thing I don't hope they do is you get to carry around a friggin' grenade launcher. We can already carry around RPGs, small, Stinger, the Strela. We can already carry around those launchers. I don't want a friggin' 2 grenade launcher to be carried around, because to me, I think people just will be sitting up somewhere and noob tubing all day. I mean, that's not fun. Those are one of the things that destroyed Modern Warfare 2. I might want to add right there.
Well, yeah, that was probably just a campaign thing, is what I'm going to say. Because in the campaign of Battlefield 3, you can actually throw down your secondary and pick up whatever the enemy might have been using, an assault rifle or rocket launcher or whatever. That might have been just a campaign thing.
I hope so.
Because if you go into multiplayer and you do that, people are just going to be picking the most powerful weapons they can use and doing whatever. Which is another thing I like Battlefield so much, is whenever you make your loadout, you get a primary and then you get a secondary, which is a sidearm of some kind. And then you get whatever class specialty you have.
There's 4 class specialties, I might add. There's assault, engineer, support, recon.
Mm-hmm. And then they threw, with those classes, 2 universals, which was a personal defense weapon or a shotgun. And those can be applied to any of those classes. That just replace your primary. So.
And if you do, the one thing I've seen though is those are mostly for close quarter engagements, because I've seen like the PW 57, I think it is.
Yeah, it's what they call it.
Yeah, and personal defense weapon or whatever, and the shotguns or the PP 2000. Those seem to me are just close quarter, and I think if they're going to be able to incorporate that with with selecting your primary, I think you should be able also to have something that is both close quarter and powerful, but also long range powerful in case something happens. Because I do know this: if you go against somebody who has an LMG and that they're not kind of bunkered in and they can move, you will get mowed out, even in close quarter, because they have that high fire rate and that high damage that you're just sitting ducks for them, really, if you're close quarter, if you don't have a shotgun or something.
Mm-hmm.
Never bring a pistol to a machine gun fight. Had to learn that once. Okay, now here's the thing that is the main part of this video that I'm going to be responding to Pwn Star's video, the crossovers. People from Call of Duty, like me, coming over to Battlefield 3. And then also vice versa, saying there's somebody from Battlefield 3 who wants to come over and play Call of Duty. I say that if you're playing Call of Duty and you play it for a long time and it just gets stale, you play it for 3 months and you're done, I would actually suggest, if you're not just a complete noob to first-person shooters, I would suggest playing Battlefield 3, but only if you're looking for something fresh, but also looking for a challenge. Because it brings in a new dynamic, because then you have to, it's pretty much, if you shoot real guns in real life, say you shoot a 22 or something like that, and you know how to shoot whatever, you hunt and all that, then this is going to be a game for you, because then it's the closest thing to real mind that your mind can get to. And there's no weird kink that you have to switch to in your brain. You just, bam, this sets in. It's like, okay, they're that far off, this has this much bullet drop, and sometimes there is wind in there. I've noticed sometimes there is wind in Battlefield, and you have to adjust for that too, or if they're moving. You do have to adjust for those things, and I think that is one thing that, to me, drew me in, kind of held me back, but drew me into Battlefield, besides you yammering my ear saying, dude, I'm telling you, you gotta play Battlefield 3. You tried for 3 months. He goes, come on, man, you gotta play. I'm like, all right, I played, and I haven't looked back. I can honestly say it's a really solid game, and it's something new. Mm-hmm. Now, how's from your point of view? Somebody playing Call of Duty, like me, coming over to playing Battlefield?
Well, I personally like it because it gives me more meat shields.
Yeah, it's that. He's not a level 100 colonel, but everybody who is out there, watch out. This man will destroy you.
No, I look forward to it. At first, it could be really hard to adjust to coming off the Battlefield, and I've seen it in a number of my 3 of my friends. And the more they play, and more they get to unlocking, the next weapon, or progressing in the class, or jumping in a vehicle, a tank, or whatever, and just blowing up buildings. They seem to enjoy it quite a bit, just because it's granted they're still first-person shooters, but I believe that Battlefield is worlds apart from Call of Duty. Call of Duty.
I will agree on that one.
Call of Duty, they just you go in and you shoot people. That's about it. I mean, yeah, they have their dominations and
capture flags
and stuff like that. But whenever you get 4 guys together working as a squad, filling different roles that need to be filled, and you actually using teamwork to win the match, it gives you actually a sense of pride. Whereas with Call of Duty, it's all about go out there, free for all, team deathmatch or whatever, and just shoot people all the time, and just there's a lack of teamwork. In Call of Duty, you got roles. You got your medic role, and he's gonna
Battlefield.
In Battlefield, you got your medic role. You can throw out some health or revive somebody who just went down, and then you got your support, who's responsible for providing cover fire and giving that resupplying his teammates. You got your engineers, whose responsibilities for taking down enemy vehicles, and then you got recon, who is going to be using his class to alert his buddies to where enemies are, and then taking the long shots. With all this, it's all about teamwork, and I've been against clans that filled a whole side of a team, and they just absolutely destroyed us. I mean, it was no competition. They had a whole team to themselves, and they were each filling their individual roles, and we didn't even get the first objective. But like I said, I got 2 or 3 other guys,
Just call me Chris. Everybody knows.
With Chris, and
I don't care if they know my name.
And one squad out of 3 can just destroy the other team. But if you get 2 other squads who are doing what they should be doing, it's no contest. And what I'll tell you about Battlefield 3 is they'll reward you with your progress to leveling up, or furthering in your class for teamwork. Granted, you might not get a kill on somebody, but you'll get points for however much damage you've done to them. Or you'll get a vehicle destroy assist. You know, say you hit it with an RPG and some other guy came in there with C4 and blew it. You'll still get an assist for that. And that's what I love about, you know, DICE and Frostbite and EA all pitching in to reward the player for teamwork as much as it was for him himself, which I don't believe Call of Duty does that.
No, Call of Duty is more the lone wolf game. If you just play by yourself, you don't really have. If you're just starting off on Xbox Live, if you are, where if you've been for the past 10 years, well, 6 years, let's say, no, 10 years, yeah, 10 years. Come on, you catch up. But if you're like me, I usually play by myself unless he's on or friends are on. I usually play by myself, and that's where I find my comfort in Call of Duty. Because somebody like me, I can go on into almost any game mode. I don't play a lot of the objectives, but I can go in a team deathmatch or a domination or something like that. Just do my thing, and I can go in and have the highest kill-death ratio in that lobby and just utterly destroy that team as far as kills go. But this is the bad side. If my team is doing crap, we lose the match, and it really defeats the purpose of playing with a team and a team objective-based skill. If for me, I play team deathmatch, free-for-all, kill confirmed, the party games. Those are always fun, but that's just for fun. If I want to do something objective-based and stuff like that, I now can say Battlefield 3 all the way. I'm defending Call of Duty as best I can, but right now I'm stacked against an opponent that I didn't think this would be as tough. And this is not a bash against Call of Duty and an uprising to Battlefield 3. It is what we find and what we have seen and our opinion on it. If you don't know, if you've never played them, what's wrong with you for one? Go out and experience it for yourself. I mean, because it's it's whatever your preference is. Play them, have fun, and that's where I think video games were first created for, to have fun. There's too many people out there that take video games too freaking serious. I mean, even more serious than he does. He has fun with them, but he has more fun when his squad is working coherently as a fluid, unit. For me, I just like having fun killing people, and that's why I like Call of Duty. And it's proven. If you just want to shoot people, play Call of Duty. Alright, everybody, that's about a wrap up. Am I forgetting anything, man?
No.
Okay, right. I thought we were going to have... If you have any questions for us or for Fox here, put them in the comment below. If you have something negative to say, Dan, what do we say to negative comments?
What comments? I don't pay attention to them.
Exactly. Alright, this is Dragon Force. We'll see you next time. Hopefully Wednesday, our topic will be dun 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 for all you wrestling fans out there. WrestleMania 29 is on the horizon. He's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there watching at my house, and we're gonna give our predictions and who we think's gonna win what and who's better. And we're also gonna say who would win in such what, Brittle San Martino or Brock Lesnar. Think about that for about 5-6 days, and then we'll see you back here. This is Dragon Force, out.